How do you design a widget that looks good? That's what we're going to talk about today. Above me, I've got a widget from Arkady, who worked on the step app that I've been using to track my steps. And I think I've got let's see how far we are. Oh, I got to get some steps today. I've got an 85-day streak. So he designed this app, and I saw that he's got some UIs that he's mocked up, and I wanted to see if I could implement one of them. I've got limited time. I'm going to see if I can get this out the door in like 15 to 20 minutes or less, and let's get started and see how long it takes. So I'm going to open up let's see how fast we can do this. Oh, yeah, let's stop that one. Okay, so I've got a starter project just to have a starting point, but I'm going to move this timer off to the side so I can let you know how we're doing. All right, so this is the design. This is the app, and I need to know what color this is. Now, just looking at it, I see a couple things. So I see there's a border here, so that's something that you'll have to match in the app. We've got, it looks like 2 different colors. I am a little colorblind, so I'll use Sketch. I've just imported that image into here, and I like to use the color picker. So when I'm doing shapes, I can just do the fill, and I will just pick out the color that gives me the code that I need. That's super big. Let's do 80. And sure, doesn't really matter. So that's one of the colors. And then this other color, I'm not sure what that is yet. So let's grab another color and go ahead and grab that. It kind of looks like it's a faded. It could be like a faded black to like maybe 60%. Is kind of what it feels like. So I don't know if this is the actual color I want to use, but apparently I can't copy and paste that. Let's try that one more time. So this is the hex. So those are the 2 main colors. This to me looks like black. I could be totally wrong. I'm just going to assume it's black, and we're going to go with that. So let's play around and see what we can get. So this is the starter project. I'm just going to do an MVP start. So this is like, I only created a brand new project just to sort of see, oh, that's probably going in there. That's fine. This is our demo project. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so in the widget control, this is where we're going to be customizing some stuff to see if we can get this to work. And live activity. We were in the widget. So this is where I was editing. This is where we can preview. Okay, excellent. So what we're going to do in here is first try and figure out how we can get that background color. And it turns out there's a special component in SwiftUI that's called ContainerRelativeShape that's going to allow us to get this border radius. I think that's the only way that we can do this. And currently this background color is right in here. So let's play around with updating this. So I'm going to comment out the background color here. And I'm going to try and get a new line. And what I'm going to do is there's another container background. And we're going to go for the for alignment with content. And with that one, we can do the placement, which is going to be a widget. And the alignment, I'm just going to skip. I'll get rid of that. And then the content, press enter, and we type in the code. So for this, let's go with that yellow. So it's going to be a color.rgb. Let's see. I don't even know how to make a color. Right here. So this color space. And, ooh. Okay, so I'm going to have to not go off the hex right now. So let's switch this from RGB, and it's 255, 220, and 6. So we're going to go 255.0 divided by 255. So that's going to be 1. And then our green is going to be 220 divided by 255.0. And then our blue is going to be 6.0 divided by 255.0. I just want to make sure I have floating point so that we're not doing accidental integer math. So I'll put that in there. I think we can code this first sidebar so we get a little bit more space. And there we go. We've got the yellow that's being used. Now, I don't know how different this is from a normal yellow, but that's going to be our current yellow that we're going to work off of. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. And next up, what we're going to do is some kind of shape that's going to provide the edge that we need. And that's going to be a ContainerRelativeShape. And with this, we'll just do an inset by, and then I'm going to do, looks like it's 4 to 8 to me. So we'll start with 4, see how it looks. We'll fill, and then the color here. Oh, this is actually going to be the yellow. So let's grab that yellow color. So let's make it a variable in case we need to use this. And we'll just grab it here and we'll call it yellow. And that's actually going to be black. So it's going to be color.black. And our fill here is going to be color, or it's going to just be yellow. And then we'll assign this here, and that should get us to a starting point. And then what we'll see is its color is going to flip. It looks approximately right to me. I think the corner radius on his is just a little bit different than the actual corner radius of a widget. That's what it's looking like to me. The widget looks like it has a different kind of corner radius. We could play around with this, and if I did 20, you would see that the corner radius of the interior is actually going to shift a little bit. So it's going to be based on how far away it is from that corner, which is interesting. That's why we're going to keep it small so that it's not as wacky. So I think that's going to look pretty good to start off. And next, what we're going to do is customize the content. So we're going to break this down. We're going to have a horizontal stack, which is going to be the airplane, and then a vertical stack for this. And then this component, let's see if I can draw some rectangles. And I don't want any fill. So we've got one component here, and then we're going to have another. Can I get my rectangle back? We're going to have another component down here that we're going to sort of mock up. So there's going to be like the two vertically stacked components, and that's kind of how we're going to be working with this. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we can do here. I'm going to need a SF symbol or image from a system name. It's going to be an SF symbol. Let's open up SF symbols, and it should just be airplane or something simple like that. So let's do airplane, and there we've got the airplane SF symbol. So we can see what the text is here. So I can just pass in airplane, and now we've got an airplane. And then we're going to have a horizontal stack. So this is going to be an H stack. And that's going to have the airplane. And then it's going to have a vertical stack with the other content. So VStack with a text. And this is going to be BR521. That's going to be the airplane boarding, or airplane flight number probably. And then we're going to have our destination. So to Dubai, and I'm not going to have any variables just yet. Maybe we'll refactor some of this a little bit, but you can start to see that it's coming to life here. We can maybe zoom in so that you can see that. Okay, that's super fun. And let's just say that this opacity is going to be a 0.6. That's kind of what I'm guessing. It looks like it's less than that, so 4. If I go any less than that, like I think it's like a 3.5. It feels a little bit too dark or not dark enough. So I'm probably going to go with 0.4. That's my gut recommendation for getting this to be accessible. And then we're going to do the alignment here, and I'm going to do a leading alignment. Get rid of all this auto-generated stuff. And that's going to hook us up there. And we need a vertical alignment here. So let's just type out alignment and then, do leading. So that's our other VStack, and that's going to shift that over a little bit. It looks like we got some kind of padding, which might be intrinsic to the content, or it's because we have this shape down below. So I'm not sure yet if that's playing a factor in this. So let's see if I take all of this out. It's still inset a little bit more, but that could just be the default. So I don't know. I haven't made a whole lot of widgets. I've made one for Mac. I don't know how they work on iOS exactly. So we've got our color back, and next up, we're going to get rid of all this junk. And we're going to have a VStack, and we're going to have our next component, which is going to be another VStack. And then we're going to have the text, which is your gate is, and then that's going to be opacity 0.4. Again, we could extract that as a variable so that we have this. We're going to have some kind of spacing here. So we're going to have a spacer to separate the content. And then we are going to have a smaller font there. Then we're going to have our next font, which is going to be B32. This is going to be super big font and black and bold. So for this, the font is going to be a system font. And let's go with size. Let's try that one more time. That's system. If I hold the Alt key, I can get all three of these attributes. And we're going to go with, let's go with 80. And then the weight's going to be bold. And the design, what's the design going to be? I think default will be fine. Default's definitely fine. Okay, so 80 is too big for the widget, so let's go to 40. Oh, 40 is looking pretty good. And then this VStack also needs that alignment. And it's got to be leading. I'm not sure how we're going to get those tighter margins. That might be something that we look up, but we're getting pretty close to just having this mocked up under 15 minutes. There's always more that we could do here. And then down here, we're going to have boarding group B. Ooh, doesn't fit. So we're going to need a new font here. And if I do caption, let's see what that looks like. Can I do bold? A little too much. Let's go with something like that. And then we'll do caption for this one up here. Font, caption, see how that looks. Let's see what caption 2 looks like. Caption 2 is a little smaller. Okay, so that, I mean, that's pretty much wired up. Right now we're at 11 minutes, 38 seconds. Let's see if we can get tighter margins. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do SwiftUI widget margins. I don't know if there's anywhere else that's contributing to this. Content margin. Content margin disabled. It looks like an iOS 17 thing. Let's see if we can get access to that. So widget configuration. I have no idea where any of this goes. Widget configuration. I'm not sure about that one. Content margins disabled on the widget configuration. Oh, am I in the wrong spot? Margins, there we go. And what does that do? Okay. we still seem to have insets on the front, which I'm not sure what that's coming from. So let's take a look at this. We just do a background here. Oh, we're not stretching. That's our problem. Okay, so we want full frame. So we need to do frame max width dot infinity max height dot infinity. So this is going to stretch out our content. And then I want some padding, and I want at least 4 plus maybe 20. This will let me control it. And then our other problem is this. We need a spacer here. I think that's a real problem. I don't think we need this. Let's try this again. Okay, so I think our original problem, let's bring back the content margins to see what that looks like. And then compare that to what we're trying to achieve. The bottom and top aren't bad. So let's go ahead and adjust. See what this looks like again. We might need that. Oh, I didn't put the spacer back. So this spacer needs to go up a line. Nope, wrong line. HStack spacer. Okay, and then I want to do padding myself. For all the content. So that's looking a little bit better. Let's see if we can do 20, if that's any different. That's more inset. If we go 10, it's a little out. Let's go 15. Okay, and then I think the padding on the bottom needs to be adjusted a little bit. So let's do the spacing. And let's do 4. That's a little bit bigger. 0. Oh, it's because the font's so big. I think that tightens it up a little bit. I think the default was a little bit too big for our VStack on the bottom. Which one is this? Okay, so that's pushing it out. Oh, our problem is now we're covering up the background. So let's see if... Oh, I just need to take the demo background off. And boom, there we're looking sharp. Okay, so I might need to adjust this a little bit now that we're looking at it with this. If we go back to 20, let's see how it looks. I think the default padding is 20. No, it's not quite 20. But 20 looks pretty good to me. Okay, so then the final things I want to do is adjust fonts a little bit more. That padding. I think this still needs... Can we do negative spacing? I can do -4 here just to tighten that up a little bit. And then .font, .system font. This one we're going to do, I don't know, 14 regular. It kind of looks like it's a bold or Not quite a bold, semi-bold. That looks pretty good. And then this one, let's do the font. .system size. Let's go 12. Weight. Semi-bold. And mine's going to look a little bit different. I think I want the same one down here instead of caption. And maybe the same one down here instead of caption. All right, so that's it. Less than 20 minutes, it looks like, for implementing that design. And then it's just a matter of extracting some of these things as variables. So that is designing with SwiftUI. That is doing a widget. I hope this was useful. If you like it, hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Do you want to download the code? Hop on to the link down below, and you can download the code. Thanks for watching.